Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of the VGC Casters Cup. For week 2, I am up against Kosta. Now, Kosta and I have both planned on playing this actually at the weekend of the Frankfurt Regionals because we both happened to be casting there. But we kind of got a bit too busy there, and so we didn't really have the time, and so our match got pushed to Monday. And in hindsight, I should have pushed for Tuesday evening because I had a flight to catch at 3 a.m. on a Monday morning. And then I went straight to work, and after work, when I got home at 6 p.m, had some dinner, got ready before I had my match, and I definitely regret rushing through this because I made some key errors, as you will later find out. But for now, let's get a look into the teams. Now, you will notice there's been a substitution on my team. I have swapped out my Gallade for a Duraludon. This was mostly because in my week 1 match, I found that Gallade didn't really put enough pressure for me. It was very offensive, but it was also so frail that I didn't have the room or the timing to be able to get it into a battle. And so I swapped it out for Duraludon, which is a lot bulkier, at least on the physical side. It's not so bulky on the special side, but with an Eviolite, it can be passable. And having Duraludon, which is a steel and dragon type on my team, also meant that I now had a fantasy core of Dragon, Steel, and Fairy. I don't quite have the Fire, Water, Grass core because obviously I'm running a rain team. But who knows, maybe I want to substitute out some other Pokemon in the future. I do have at least 4 traits left. But let's just get into the match for now. As you can see, Kosta's got a rain team as well, but his team is a little bit more Perish Trap mode enabled. Now, looking at his team, I know that the Baxcalibur and the Basculegion is going to come. I would guess probably also the Raichu, the Politoed, the Flamigo, and maybe the Mandibuzz or Scovillain. Now, full disclaimer, I recorded this after our match, so a lot of my commentary is made with hindsight. I will do my best to try and take you guys through my mindset when I was building the team so that you can understand why I made the movesets that I did and with the items that I did. So I built this team. Let's start with Scrafty. I built this team at Frankfurt Airport, and then I trained them on my flight back to London. So there's some errors there with, I think some of the things aren't quite optimal, but for now, let's get started into Scrafty. So Scrafty's got the exact same moveset as the Scrafty from week 1. I didn't really see any reason to remove any of these moves, such as Fake Out and Drain Punch and Knockoff. They're pretty much given. The last move, typically, I guess you could argue that you can use other things like Taunt, which may have come in handy. But for me, I was a little bit scared of Kosta's Basculegion, that the female Basculegion has higher special attack. And when it's paired up, or when it's holding a choice specs in the rain, it can actually do quite a bit of damage. So that was what the Snarl was for. Now, the eject button was because Kosta's obviously got Gothitelle, and I wanted a way to get that Scrafty out of the battle if the Gothitelle was brought. Terra type of water because I'm up against a rain team, so water's just a really nice defensive typing. And the EV spread was designed to survive an adamant, scrappy Flamigo 252 attack close combat. So that was, and yes, Scrafty can actually survive that, which is amazing. But yeah, that was the reason behind the nature and this EV spread, and then I just dumped the rest in special defense. This time, I didn't put anything into speed because there was nothing I wanted to outspeed at that speed tier. The next Pokemon we've got is Zebstrika. Zebstrika was there purely to protect my Palafin from Kosta's Raichu. It's also there because it's faster than Raichu. In fact, I believe, just based off raw speed stats, it is the fastest Pokemon on my team. And let me just have a look. Yes, it is the fastest Pokemon on my team. And it's also faster than Raichu. High horsepower can also get an Oko on Raichu. Unfortunately, most Raichus are Focus Sash, so I wouldn't expect the Oko with a high horsepower, but just in case Raichu's holding something like an Assault Vest, then 252 Jolly Nature can get the Oko. And then Electro Web is for speed control, which can also get around Raichu's Lightning Rod, and the Volt Switch is just there if I need to switch out. My thought was that if, say, Gothitelle was on the field and it was holding an ability shield, well, I have Galarian Weezing and Zebstrika, and I can just Volt Switch out of there. The Focus Sash is just because Zebstrika is incredibly frail. I did originally think about making it Naive Nature or one of the defense or special defense dropping natures, since the Jolly Nature kind of hurts the Electro Web and Volt Switch. But in the end, I decided not to because I figured the damage from both Electro Web and Volt Switch are kind of sad enough already that there wasn't much return in making my Zebstrika bulkier than needed. Now the next Pokemon is Ninetales. Ninetales brings Snow Warning, which can neutralize a lot of the really strong water type attacks from Kosta's team. You will notice that this Ninetales does not carry Aurora Veil or Blizzard. Basically, the idea is that if I'm in a situation where I'm trapped on the field with Gothitelle and there was no Weezing next to the Ninetales, then I don't actually need the snow to operate. This Ninetales is perfectly happy to function in the rain. It's got Disable Encore, which is quite an annoying combo. And the Citrus Berries, because this Ninetales is kind of sort of bulky, not really, it's not really a bulky Pokemon, but Citrus Berry just helps with the longevity. And Terra Water, once again, because I want it to be bulky. That just reminds me, if we go back to Zebstrika, Terra Electric only because I couldn't think of any other Terra. There literally was no instance where I would have wanted to terrestrialize the Zebstrika, so I just left it as Terra Electric just to confuse Kosta during team preview. Anyway, back to the Ninetales. The speed is to outspeed a Jolly base, I think a Jolly Flamigo. I can't really remember. I built this at 4 a.m. at Frankfurt Airport, but from memory, that's what I wanted the benchmark to hit. The special attack, I believe, was actually, so when I was theory modding and team building, this Ninetales originally had a Moonblast. So the 188 special attack, from memory, was meant to 2-hit KO the Baxcalibur with Moonblast. Now, of course, I did end up removing the Moonblast, but that still gives a decent amount of special attack to do some damage with the Freeze Dry at least, and then I just dump the rest into HP. Next Pokemon we have is Weezing, and now the reason why this ability is Levitate is because it was meant to have neutralizing gas, but I, like an idiot, completely forgot to ability capsule the Weezing. So, as you will find out later on in the game, which was an absolute disaster, I brought a Levitate Weezing. And I didn't even realize this until way towards the end of the game, where Ninetales came in onto the field at the same time as Weezing, and Snow Warning activated. But anyway, that's a disaster you will find out later on. The idea behind this Weezing was that it was meant to have neutralizing gas, so that it could shut down Gothitelle and Raichu, and possibly things like Baxcalibur and Basculegion. That's why I have Will-O-Wisp on the Baxcalibur, because I don't care about a thermal exchange. I put Zoom Lens on it because, well, Weezing's a very slow Pokemon, and the two Pokemon that I would have wanted to burn would have been the Flamigo or the Baxcalibur, and both of them are significantly faster than Weezing, so I figured Zoom Lens, since Weezing's going to be moving after them, will guarantee that I hit the Will-O-Wisp. Once again, it's Terra Water type because up against the Rain team, but yeah, this Weezing ended up being dead weight in hindsight because it was Levitate, so that was charming. But, you know, originally, the spread, I actually cannot for the life of me remember why on earth this spread was like that. I think from memory, it may have been to survive a choice Specs Terra Water Basculegion Muddy Water outside of the rain. I think that was what it was meant to do. And then the special attack investment, I think, was a 2-hit KO on Flamigo. And yes, you heard that right. Flamigo isn't really the bulkiest Pokemon, but Weezing's special attack is so bad that I think I needed some help there just to get a 2-hit KO with Strange Steam. And I think I dumped the rest into defense. From memory, that's what the spread is supposed to do. I don't actually remember. The next Pokemon was the newest addition to my team, which was Duraludon. The idea behind this Duraludon set is that with the ability Stalwart, it can ignore redirection from Lightning Rod, and Kosta having several water types on his team, like the Basculegion and the Politoed, I figured that Terra Electric Thunderbolt is... Actually, I think just regular Thunderbolt is enough to hit KO the Basculegion. That's what the special attack EVs were for. It was to 2-hit KO a 4 HP female Basculegion outside of Terra. And Terra Electric was just because the Steel and Dragon typing is so good that I wouldn't have wanted to remove it under any circumstance. Kosta doesn't really have a ground type to, you know, hit me with, and the fighting type would have been Flamigo, and I believe with an Eviolite, not Basculegion, Duraludon just survives a close combat from Flamigo anyway, and then it can 2-hit KO, Oko back with a Thunderbolt once the Flamigo reduced itself down to -1 special defense, and an Iron Defense and Body Press because it's trying to be an Archaludon. So yeah, baby Archaludon there. I quite like this set. The speed EVs were to guarantee the outspeed onto 252 modest Basculegion. This also ended up being, I think, faster than, 4 speed Baxcalibur. But yeah, the main purpose was to outspeed the Basculegion without rain, or if Weezing was on the field, then Swift Swim on Basculegion would get turned off, and then my Duraludon could just 2-hit KO with the Thunderbolt. Since Duraludon doesn't... Well, Duraludon can take 1 hit from a Specs Basculegion, but not 2. So if I was faster than the Basculegion, guaranteed, at least if it was a modest nature, then I could win in that situation. This does, of course, lose to a timid Basculegion, but I figured Kosta probably is not going to run a timid Basculegion. And now, once again, we come to the star of the team, which is that Palafin. Palafin this time has a little bit of a unique set. It's Covert Cloak, because I figured the Raichu would either have Nuzzle or Electro Web, and so the Covert Cloak guarantees that my Palafin is not going to be affected by something like a paralysis or a speed drop. Now, Palafin's moveset, I had a lot of trouble trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I did originally want Aqua Jet because that's a priority move and it can get around Raichu's speed. But I figured that if there was a circumstance where I didn't bring Weezing onto the field, I would still need a way to basically swap Palafin out if Gothitelle was also on the field. So that was why Flip Turn was there. And Wave Crash because you kind of have to run Wave Crash on Palafin. It's just its strongest attack. Drain Punch also because this Palafin doesn't have much recovery, and if you look at the rest of my team, they're not exactly offensive, so I knew that in this matchup I'd be relying on mostly Palafin to get all the damage off, and if Palafin was just constantly wave crashing, it would eventually knock itself out from the Drain Punch. Now I know Bulk Up is a very unconventional move in doubles for Palafin, and that was why I ran it. I figured that Kosta's team is... a lot of them are quite bulky, and the strong attackers all tend to be... well, Baxcalibur in particular was physical, and I wasn't sure if the Baxcalibur would run Swords Dance, so I figured with Bulk Up and also a nice water typing by itself without having to Terra, Palafin could survive quite a few hits once the Bulk Up had gone up, and I don't think Kosta would see this coming. Now, if we look at the EV spread, the 180 speed was to guarantee that I would outspeed a Flamigo 252 speed. I think. Actually, I can't quite remember because I built this at the crack of dawn. And yeah, I don't actually think the rest of the EVs had any particular logic. The speed was an important one. I think I dumped a bit into special defense just because I wanted the Palafin to be bulky. And from memory, the 164 Adamant was actually to Oko a Baxcalibur at +2 attack from, if I'd gone for 2 bulk ups. But it's very situational. I think that's what I EV'd it for, but don't quote me on it because I can't remember. And it was Terra Grass type in case I came across a Rage Powder Scovillain. But the Grass wasn't really needed. I was tossing up between going for the Terra Steel, but in the end I thought just in case there's a Basculegion, not Basculegion, there's a Scovillain, then at least the Terra type allows me to ignore it and also allows me to resist the water types. So that's the team, and it would have worked beautifully had I remembered to ability capsule my Weezing. But alas, I did not, so just enjoy the tragedy that I am going to show next. Alright, so for week 2, we are up against Kosta Didymos, whom we have just returned back, both of us, from Frankfurt Regionals, and Kosta's showed me his team of Baxcalibur, Gothitelle, Raichu, Basculegion, Politoed, and Wigglytuff, which I was not expecting the Wigglytuff to come into this game, but I think it's okay. I'm happy though that I ended up putting Flip Turn over Jet Punch on the Palafin, because this Palafin is not going to be trapped. Oh, no one could be found. Hold on. I think I forgot to tell Kosta I'm searching. Come on, I really want to start. Oh yes, let's go. I like the quality cost because you can't fit the A there. Good luck. My phone auto-corrected good luck, have fun to Fluffy. This is gonna be a pretty fun game, I reckon. Alright. So I am definitely gonna bring that Ninetales. Goth. See, if Sherlock Fumes comes on with Palafin, I think Palafin would love this. I reckon Raichu's got the sash. High horsepower. Could burn the thingo, the backs. Do I want this? I think Ninetales should come in the back. Question is, what do I want? Duraludon or Scrafty? Scrafty's kinda nice. Kinda. Duraludon does allow a setup. Let's try Duraludon. I think I'm ready. Oh, Kosta going right down to the time there. Okay, this is gonna be really fun. I'm really liking this matchup. Not in the sense that I think I've got the advantage, but I think it's gonna be a really fun game. And both of us are very sleep deprived, so this is gonna be absolutely hilarious. Kosta gets Raichu back. Okay. Alrighty. So, Will-O-Wisp. I could just... Well, I have to swap. Right. Let's do this. Okay. Things don't break like this. Oh. Oh, I see. Fearing the Moonblast, but that's fine. That is absolutely fine because now I will burn this, and I can still burn ya. And I can go for a... Let's just go for a blind body press of Raichu, firstly. Oh, wait, no! Oopsie, that's okay. I forgot. That's okay, what does Volt Switch? That does not very much. Ah, I should have gone for the body press. Oh, sorry, the iron defense. That's fine. So that is a Volt switching Raichu. What are we gonna see next? It's gonna be a Basket Legion. Oh, Kosta's really thinking, eh? Oh, nice play, nice. Oh, it's shiny too. Nice play. Okay, let's protect. And let's see what this does. That was a very nice play there. does. Oh, I forgot to bring Zed Striker. I'm an idiot. Actually, I'm not in the best of positions here. I suspect the Basculegion is a choice spec set. It's hard to know. Oh yes, Icicle Crash does nothing. Oh, Kosta, that does a lot. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That is incredibly beautiful. All right. So, I can now just burn it again, and T-Bolt. And Raichu, if it switches in, will lose its Focus Sash. So that's a nice turn. Weezing, putting in a lot of work there. I suspect we're gonna get a Raichu swap in with a... Yes, okay, good. That's good. Wait, what? That's not supposed to happen. Is this an ability shield Raichu? Oh, okay. So that is annoying. But that's okay, I can Iron Defense now. Huh, ability shield Raichu. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Okay, that did quite a bit. Okay, so good information I got there. I am still going to go for this and I'm going to go for a body press. So, okay. Body press. Okay, the good thing about this. Oh! 1 HP survival. Which means... Ah, that's still not enough. Okay, so I am going to sack Duraludon. And that... Okay, the body press was kind of disappointing there. I will still try and go for on the right side. But I would have thought Stalwart. Miss. Ah, okay, that is cool. Okay, so that was not the greatest one. But... Oh my god! My Weezing is the wrong ability! I just realized this! Oh my god, it's Levitate! Ah! Okay, that changes things. Oh my god, I can't believe I spent this entire time. I forgot to ability patch this. Well, okay, never mind. Oh, what happened? That was a lot. Yeah, okay. Rip. Wheezing is the wrong ability. Nice. Okay. Okay. Well, stupid wheezing is utterly dead weight now. Which means do this. Alright. That shouldn't do too much good. Ah, except I flinch. Okay, this turn is going horribly, and this is why you don't train your team on the aeroplane. Anyway, not pretty bad actually. That flinch was awful. But well, it's kind of over now. I'm gonna see just how much damage a wave crash does. Oh, that is so annoying. Stupid wheezing. Hate this wheezing. Ooh, that still does heaps. Okay, that was a very disastrous turn. Okay, this is not good. Oh, that Excalibur is locked into Kool-Aid Rush. Which means at least I get one KO. Small consolation prize, huh? Okay, so I know what to do now. I think. Now, question is, do I reveal this? Oh, I can't even protect. That's okay, so Palafin is great. You are faster, but I'm still gonna flip that KO. At least I get some KOs. It's fine. Good information. Yeah, okay. So essentially I was playing with 3 Pokemon in that game. Because I am an idiot and I didn't realize I forgot to ability patch the reason. So that was so dumb. But it also means that I bring Zeb Striker. Cool. Alright, goodbye, pal. You did a marvelous job, so thank you. But that also means it means. Oh, you know what it means. Okay, same rules. Okay, I know what to do now. I know exactly what to do. Whether or not it actually works is a different matter. But I do know what to do. So let's go Sherlock Fumes and Palafin. Ninetales can come in the back. And Duraludon was pretty good, I just made some bad plays. Alright, so this is a deciding game. Oh, I can't cancel, can I? This isn't Showdown. Which is fine. I think So Raichu is Focus Sash, it does not have an ability shield. Because the Wheezing did not disable it, like I thought it did. Alright. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Yeah, this is pretty darn good. Okay, come on. Let me get this absolutely ridiculous strategy off. I could Volt Switch this guy. Let's flip turn. Okay, flip turn. Good chip, good chip, good chip. Gothitelle cannot learn. Okay, this is not good. Switch. And now we are in defense again. I wish I had Taunt with Zeb Striker. Yeah, it's really annoying that I don't have, or have the wrong ability on Weezing. I feel like this matchup could have been very avoided. What is that then? Okay. Well, I didn't go for that. is actually really bad. Oh man, I'm so annoyed at myself for having the wrong wheezing. And now I can protect. Okay, nice, nice. Let's go for this. Body. It's looking pretty bad. I cannot deny that. What are we gonna do next? Oh, this is good. Wait, what? What? Oh. This is actually really excellent. Okay, how many times Trick Room left? This is the final time of Trick Room. Which means if I encore the Goth and then 5 iron defenses, I could get something. Yeah. Wait, what is my Baxcalibur's thing on? Oh, okay. Nice play, nice play. Fine. Also fine. Okay, so Kosta does not know that I've got this. Let's flip turn this right. Body press this. I don't see. Oh, okay. So there's no Raichu in the back. It's Wigglytuff and Goth. Okay. Actually, I think we may have a way out of here. We may have a way out of here. Okay. That may have been a misplay, actually. But so it's the worst. Goth comes in, maybe sets up a trick room. We vault, switch. Let's do this, and then body press. I feel like that's the only shot, right? I can just ignore this. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. And now we electro web. And Goth won't go for a trick room now because Baxcalibur is faster. And I think we may have found a way out of it. Oh no, the crit! Oh, that is devastating actually. Oh man, I was at +4 defense too. That is heartbreaking. Okay, okay. Oh, that is so bad. I could have got the... Yeah, okay. Unfortunately... Oh, I can't even electro web my own subscriber. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright. There's one last shot at this. Got protect, fine, whatever. Oh, yeah! Let's go! Let's go, Palafin! Let's go, Palafin, Palafin. Okay. Okay, we're in this. We're still in this. Okay, let's high horsepower Goth. Well, no, I'm gonna double into the backs. And now I can drain. I am so annoyed about the crit earlier, but whatever. I swear. Oh! Faster. Oh. Yo. And okay. Does this Wigglytuff get Thunderbolt? Is there Encore? Does Wigglytuff... Oh, actually, I can't even Drain Punch. So... Let's just Drain Punch this guy, because I don't want to wave crash. If I can get the knockout. Oh, missed the knockout. Right. Yeah. Actually, no, it's kind of alright. Because I don't have a spread move. So I should have gone for... Well played, Kosta. Yeah. Oh, wait, no! Hold on a minute! Hold on a minute! Oh no, Twisted Dimension returned to normal. Yeah. GG's. Okay. Goth goes down. 2 turn, 1 turn though. Yeah. Well played. To be fair, I could have actually... I feel like I could have won this game if I had the correct ability on the stupid easy. Or if I didn't get crit. Anyway, that is my fault. I should not be playing on 3 hours of sleep. Alright, so I wanted to do a little bit of a post-match analysis on that final turn of Game 2. Had I gone for a Wave Crash onto the Wigglytuff instead of the Drain Punch, that Wigglytuff would have gotten knocked out after setting up the pressure song, and then it would have just been my Palafin 1v1 versus the Goth, which I think I had a good chance of winning. Now, in hindsight, going for the Drain Punch on the Wigglytuff was a misplay. But at the time, the reason why I did not go for the Wave Crash was because I didn't know that the Wigglytuff was going to perish song. I had only seen Nasty Plot and Dazzling Gleam at that point, and in my head I thought, oh, if the Wigglytuff has Nasty Plot, it should have another coverage move. And so I was expecting a double up into the Palafin, and had that happened, the Palafin would have likely being knocked down to about 50% of its health. And then, after Palafin goes for the Wave Crash onto Wigglytuff, it would take a lot of recoil. Wigglytuff is a Pokemon with really high base HP. So in my head, I was estimating after a double up into Palafin and Wave Crash recoil from knocking out the Wigglytuff, my Palafin would probably be at about 30% health. And since we were still under Trick Room at that stage, Gothitelle could then finish off Palafin with a Psychic the next turn. And since my Palafin is unable to protect, it can't actually, survive that final turn of Trick Room. So that was why I went for the Wave Crash, and of course that was my fault for not really guessing that Kosta would go with the Perish Trap mode. Now, thinking about it and how I can improve in the future so that this doesn't happen again, first I think I should do proper research on all 12 Pokemon that my opponent can have. So far, my strategy has been to guess the 6 Pokemon that my opponent's going to bring, and then bring a team to counter the 6. And of course, if my opponent then doesn't bring the Pokemon that I expected them to, I'd be left in the dark with the new Pokemon and the ones that I hadn't researched. So that is definitely one takeaway. The other takeaway I would have is to triple check the abilities and movesets of the Pokemon that I was getting ready, because the Wheezing having the incorrect ability in this set was actually quite game-changing in my opinion, because it meant that Kosta was able to just safely go for his Perish Trap mode, whereas before he had to rely on his more offensive members. And this week was really noticeable in that having the wrong ability made a huge impact. I in fact had an error in my last week's game where I forgot to use a mint on the Ninetales to make it a modest nature, but last week, luckily, because Ninetales wasn't really that useful in the battle, it didn't matter. But this week it really mattered, and it ended up really hurting me and costing me this set. So that is takeaway number 2, is to triple check movesets, items, and terrors. Now, takeaway number 3 is also to just get plenty of rest. I'd gotten up at 3 a.m. that morning, went to Frankfurt Airport, built the team at the airport, then, well, theory-mon the team at the airport. Then when I landed at 7 a.m. in London, went straight to work, and then I trained my team during lunchtime at work, got home at 7 p.m., had dinner, and ate. So by that point, I'd been awake for about 16 hours after quite a tiring weekend. So I wasn't really that rested, and I think in the future, if something like this, if I had to have a game after a regionals, I would probably try and schedule it on a Tuesday when I'm properly rested. But I think that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue by far was the fact that I didn't check the movesets and the abilities of my Pokemon. So yeah, with that being said, I am going to get some rest, and I will see you next week.